have the other social media platforms working to our benefit. Okay. Thank you guys for being part of the live broadcast. My name is Tamani Wandani. I am a contributing member of the Black Gold Nation movement. Our ultimate goal is to establish communities that have influence, value, and power in communities that we have 100% ownership and or control. We believe in the Black Gold Nation movement that is the only way we're going to be able to create something that's going to protect us physically, put us in a position to heal ourselves institutionally, and put us in a position to move forward as a unified group, physically, spiritually, psychologically, mentally, environment, and we have to own and control everything in that environment to ensure we're moving forward. So that is the ultimate goal, the ultimate vision of the Black Gold Nation movement, and we understand that if we're going to get there, it's going to take a unified effort. It's going to take an organized approach. It's going to take a collection of Black intelligentsia, along with Black people coming from all backgrounds, as we say in the movement, all tribes of life, because it's going to take a collective group of melanated people to make this thing happen. We don't have the luxury of turning away allies. We don't have the luxury of not working with our brothers and sisters because we might disagree with them on a particular issue. We have to build something for ourselves. We have to build something for our children, something that's going to protect them, put them in a position to win, put them in a position to have influence, value, and power over their environment. And that cannot happen if we're wasting time bickering and arguing about things that aren't as important as our ability to move forward as a group. So what I've been doing for the past few weeks is giving a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America. I have a list of things that we are dealing with right now in America and around the world in 2019 moving forward. I want to continue to give that list because I think oftentimes, unfortunately, sadly, we are not fully aware of the reality that we're facing in America in 2019 moving forward. We certainly don't talk about it enough. We certainly aren't focused on it. And I know of no group of Black people that's focusing on these issues simultaneously as we are, which means if we're not focused on these issues, which I'm about to get into, that means that we're going to lose because these things are not going to get better. It's simply going to get worse. Because again, as I've been saying for the last 2.5, 3 years, no one is coming to save Black people. So we have to save ourselves. So I'm going to give you a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America right now, what we're facing, what we're up against. And then, as always, I'm going to give you some solutions. Here in this movement, we're not just trying to give the news. We're not trying to just give talking points. We're not trying to regurgitate what the mainstream media is saying. We want to tell our people what it is as we see it. And then we want to give you concrete solutions as to what you can do to be a part of a movement, an organization that's going to change all of this, push back against all of it, and put ourselves, and most importantly, our children in a position to win. So what it means to be Black in 2019 in America moving forward. I've changed this up a little bit in that I've now categorized some of the, I've categorized all of the things that we're up against to make it easier to understand what our reality is moving forward. So the Black reality in 2019, the Black family. The bottom 50% of our households are worth less than $1. Our children, Black children that live and exist in America's inner cities, because of the levels of physical, mental, and spiritual violence and trauma that exist in these cities. A major study has shown that some 46.5% suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, a condition normally found in some 11 to 20% of combat veterans. So you have our children, Black children, melanated children who live in and around America's inner cities suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder at 2 times the rate of people who have been to combat. Our children are exhibiting symptoms of combat stress and trauma in America's cities. The ability to learn, build relationships, it makes them more susceptible to depression. And again, this is a part of what the reality of what it means to be Black in America. As of February 2017, every state in this country, was investing more in juvenile prisons and schools. That means something. A school to prison pipeline that is alive and well and highly functional is what we still have to deal with. We have to deal with an education system that's never been properly, never properly educated our parents, properly educated ourselves, my generation. I'm 48 years old. So if you were born in 1970, from 1970 to, 1980, our generation has not been properly educated by America's education system, nor has the generation of our parents. And of course, that educational system is still in place, and it's not probably educating Black children that exist now. We have more brothers in prison in America than all women incarcerated worldwide. Again, more Black men are in prison in America than all women incarcerated worldwide. This has had a significant effect on our brothers, as there is a shortage of Black men in the communities, which has directly affected the strength of our relationships, families, and our communities. We have to deal with a multi-billion-dollar prison industrial complex that you can buy stock in. So if you can buy stock in the U.S. penal system, what does that mean? That means that it's not about law and order. It's about physical ability and making money, and a new kind of slavery, or slavery by any other name. The next category, Black ownership. Black farmers are still being discriminated against. Federal judges have ruled that the USDA systematically denied Black and Native American farmers loans and disaster relief payments. Over the past century, Black farmers have lost 80% of their land, only now owning some 5 farms in America. The author of the study observed that farmers of color were disproportionately affected by obstacles in transferring land and ownership from generation to generation, often resulting in land loss, and a lot of that land was, of course, stolen. The next category, the threats and predation of our environment. The USDA, via the usage of genetically modified organisms, is seeking to replace how natural and organic foods are grown to control the food we consume globally. If they can control the food, will they poison us or deny us what we need to live, thrive, and grow, as they have done to other people in other parts of the world, and in our history in this country, and the history that they have with other people worldwide? Food deserts, which is defined as an area that has limited access to affordable and nutritious food, exists in almost every predominantly Black community in this country. Purge activity, which is defined as assassinations, murders, kidnappings, organ and sex trafficking, and crimes committed in Black mask and Black skin by people that aren't Black, are happening in Black communities nationwide. Again, purge activity is happening in every major Black community in this country, and that activity is defined as assassinations, murders, kidnappings, organ and sex trafficking, and crime in Black face and Black skins by people who are not Black. The Portland Police Department digitally removed tattoos from a Black man's face to make him look like a suspect, and that brother was subsequently charged with a crime. Over the past decade, the annual estimates of the number of gangs in the United States has grown to be approximately 27,000. Of course, that's a problem for us because we have our own people preying upon our own people. So we have to deal with enemies from without, as well as enemies and predators within, which is a problem for us. Again, I'm talking about what it means to be Black in America and around the world in 2019 moving forward. 90 to 95%. This is a new one, a sad one. 90 to 95% of the top rap songs of 2019 promote materialism, drug use, misogyny, murdering Black men, self-hate, a false sense and negation of reality, a slave culture to understanding and promotion of success, and a self-destructive niggerized culture of mental, physical, spiritual, and psychological slavery. Again, 90 to 95% of the rap songs of 2019 are promoting things that our children are sucking up. That's destroying their minds because it's giving them a sense of a reality that does not exist. It's telling them about selling drugs as a good thing. It's talking about murdering brothers as a good thing. Music is very powerful. Music is a medium that can do a lot of good or do a lot of harm. And unfortunately, the rap music, the majority of it that's coming out of our communities, coming out of brothers and sisters who are rapping, it is being used in a destructive manner to destroy the minds of our children. Again, 90 to 95%. And I've gone through the list. A friend of mine, Brother Craig Glee, who's over our political strategy department nationally, he sent me a list of the top songs of 2019. There were 66 songs on that list. Of that 66, 62 promoted materialism, drug use, misogyny, murdering Black men, self-hate, a false sense and negation of reality, a slave culture understanding and promotion of success, and a self-destructive niggerized culture of mental, physical, spiritual, and psychological slavery. what our children are being fed every single day of every single year. It's been 5 years since Flint, Michigan has safe water to drink, bathe in, and use. The next category, our livelihood and future. Automation, artificial intelligence, and machine language is replacing millions of jobs. The White House just removed 3 million people from the food stamp rolls. Of course, a lot of those people are black. We have to deal with over 900 white supremacist organizations in existence right now today are training for a race war as a problem for us because we're not training to defend ourselves from a race war. So if a race war happens, guess who's going to lose? There have been 305, it's probably more than that by this point, but there have been 305. The last time I did a live broadcast, it was 291. 305 mass shootings in America since the beginning of the year, and there are going to be more. The Department of Homeland Security in a recent study has found that state and local law enforcement agencies nationwide have been infiltrated with neo-Nazi members and started secret terrorist cells developed to terrorize Black and Latino residents. Again, this is the reality of what it means to be Black in America. A brief snapshot. The Donald Trump administration under Jeff Sessions has reinstituted the privatizing of federal prisons, which means that the profit motive. Under President Trump, the FBI's official counterterrorism priorities have included, quote, Black identity extremists, anti-authority extremists, and animal rights environmental extremists. The Donald Trump administration has refused to label and pursue domestic terrorism by white identity extremists on the same level as foreign terrorists. And although that has changed on paper, we're not sure if they're actually going to do anything about it, so we have to wait and see. Approximately 25.4% of the American population in the United States identify themselves as evangelical Christians. And over 25% of them, 20 million people, support Donald Trump. As a problem for us because Donald Trump has proven himself to be a liar, a bigot, a racist, a misogynist, and someone who doesn't care about the truth, who has lied some 22 or 20,000 times. I'm not sure, but the number is very, I'm going to say 2,000, which is still bad for a president. Documented lies. And of course, he's still telling those lies. We have to deal with over 100 conservative think tanks, white people being whiteness, whites of power, white supremacy, and white power. We have to deal with that because we don't have any black people thinking about black supremacy and black power on the same level. Not that we want to be supreme over anybody, but we absolutely must have people that are thinking about our survival, advancement, and forward progress. The Donald Trump administration and the Donald Trump administration Citizenship and Immigration Services Department is seeking to change the language on the Statue of Liberty that says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses journey to breathe free, to language that translates to give me your tired and your poor who can stand on their own 2 feet and who would not become a public charge. They're trying to change America because America is becoming more and more of color. And of course, that is a problem for us because we are a people of color. The First Amendment allows for freedom of religion, speech, the press, and the right to assemble and petition your government. Let me take one step back. The Department of Justice has proven that cities like Baltimore and Chicago have, quote, in conduct that violates the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments. The First Amendment allows for freedom of religion, speech, of the press, and the right to assemble and petition your government. The Fourth Amendment allows for protection from unlawful seizures. And the 14th Amendment allows for citizenship and equal rights for African Americans who were emancipated after the American Civil War. A court has just ruled that DeRay McKesson, one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement, has no First Amendment defense in a Baton Rouge protest where a person who was a part of the protest picked up a rock or a bottle and threw it at the cop. The cop was hurt. And they're saying that Brother DeRay doesn't have First Amendment rights per freedom of speech. So this is just proof that America is changing because we are under an administration that's extremely conservative, being led by a man who's proven himself to be a racist. Lastly, the Donald Trump administration has repealed civil rights protections all across the country in HUD, Commerce, and many other governmental departments. So that is a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America. It's critically important that we understand our reality because, of course, if we don't understand our reality, then we won't have an opportunity to change it. And if we don't change our reality, our children, and every generation of Black child to follow is going to have to deal with a more harsh, a more anti-Black, more threatening, more dangerous anti-Black world. If we, the adults who are living right now in 2019, if we don't give our children the platform to build upon a 100-year plan that's going to create communities that have influence, value, and power, if we don't give them the blueprint, the platform, the beginnings of a system that's going to physically protect them and put them in a position to own and control their environment, we are failing our children, we're failing our parents, we're failing our ancestors, and we are making sure, damn near guaranteeing that every generation that's going to follow our children we'll be in a position of a second-class citizenship in this country. And if we black people are a second-class group in this country, arguably the most powerful country on the planet, we have opportunities here that other people do not have. If we can't make it here, then the chances of our brothers and sisters making it in other places is slim to none, because they can't do things that we can do because we live in America. We have to be serious about what we're up against. We have to be serious about the threats that exist on the horizon. We have to be serious, open, and honest to our about the fact that predators exist in and around your community, exist in and around this country, that want to seek to do you harm and see you not treated fairly. We got to stop lying to our children about what it means to be black in America and in an anti-black world. So we want to focus on my last two quotes. When I made it, I posted it and tie it into our reality in 2019 moving forward. Okay, I'll say that back. The quote from today, from Brother H. Rap Brown, Jamil Abdullah Alamin. The brother says, quote, "Everybody in the black community must organize. And then we decide whether we will have alliance with other people or not, but not until we are all organized." That's a quote from Brother H. Rap Brown, who was one of the founders of the Black Panther Party. The second quote is from yesterday, Dr. Amos N. Wilson. Dr. Wilson says, "To manipulate history is to manipulate consciousness. And to manipulate consciousness is to manipulate possibilities. And to manipulate possibilities is to manipulate power." Now, this morning's title, this live broadcast title, is LeBron James, the NCAA, and Power. Understanding the power of conscious black celebrity and how what he's done can be a blueprint for the black community. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, I did a live broadcast a few months ago talking about the NCAA and LeBron James coming to a clash of ideas, if you will. The NCAA changed the rules to make it difficult for people like Chris Paul, who runs LeBron James's agency for athletes. They changed the rules to make it more difficult for people like him to be successful, because the brother has had so much success with recruiting athletes. LeBron, a black man in America, obviously pushed back against that rule change. And as a result of who he is, as a result of his celebrity, as a result of his following, as a result of his personal brand, he was able to stop a white institution from changing the rules of the game that will make it more difficult for he and his company and his business partners to succeed. LeBron James made history as a black man in America in that he pushed back against a white institution's desire to change the rules of the game, which is what they've always done since we've been here, and he won. That's never happened before. But that's an example of what's possible when you have a conscious black person who is a celebrity who understands the game and is trying to create change. That's what Muhammad Ali did. And we talk about how much we love Muhammad Ali, and of course he was a phenomenal brother, but we don't talk about LeBron in the same context, and maybe we should, because this brother is changing history, making history with the things that he's doing, because no one else has ever done that before. Now, most recently, I think it was yesterday, another historical move was made in that the governor of California, Governor Newsom, signed an historic bill that allows for college athletes to benefit from endorsement deals. And what that means is that those young men and women who have scholarships to play in college, they can't hold jobs, they can't get endorsements, they can't make money, while the institution, the college, is making billions off of their sweat equity. Well, this new law now says that these students can go out and get endorsement deals so that they can make money, because the university is making billions of dollars off of their back, off of their sweat equity, off of their likeness. And the governor of California signed the bill in LeBron's barbershop. He has a barbershop show with mostly brothers, but white people as well. And I think some Hispanic people, talking about issues that affect mostly black people, but people in general, athletes. So, and the governor of California signed this bill in LeBron's barbershop. Now, he would not have done this if LeBron was not a person of influence, a person of intellect, a power, a person of value. LeBron has given us a blueprint for what's possible if you have the right people leading the effort. LeBron has given us example of what a conscious black athlete and or celebrity can do if he or she are conscious enough to do it. Imagine if Colin Kaepernick was not the only football player of color who took a knee. What if Colin took a knee in protest of police brutality against black people? What if all the black players in the NFL took a knee? Colin would probably not only still have a job, but the NFL would change, or they would support what the brothers were trying to do, because the NFL would be rugby were it not for the brothers involved in the game. But they don't understand their power. What if the brothers in the NFL had the conscious understanding that brother LeBron James has, and they understood their value, they understood their power, they understood unity, and they understood that they don't have to take the injustices forced upon them by an institution in America, because they would understand that were it not for their physical ability, were it not for their sweat equity, this institution would not exist. The fact that LeBron James as a black man pushed back and stopped a white institution from changing the rules of the game is phenomenal. But it's not just about him, one person doing that. It's about other black celebrities having the power. But most importantly, it's about us. Everyday average brothers and sisters being able to do the exact same thing. If we understood our strength in numbers in this country, if we understood our value as a collective group in this country, if we understood our intellectual, our physical, our spiritual, and our economic power in this country, we could all be a LeBron James as a group. We could all say to the white power establishment that we are or are not going to take certain things because it doesn't best benefit our people. We have to look at what LeBron James has done and what LeBron James is doing as a blueprint to be added to solutions that are already working to move black people forward. If you know anything about me, if you've seen any of my live broadcasts, you know that I'm always talking about the Shrines of the Black Madonna. That is a church that I joined at the age of 22 after I left the military. And from 1992 to 2007, I was an active member of that church, lived on the property, 100% owned and controlled by black people. I learned, I was taught, I was literally trained on how to build black communities for black people in the black community in America. I lived the 21st century Black Wall Street in the greater Houston, Texas area. So I want to add to that other things that other black people are doing that can help make black people bigger, better, and stronger. We had the Black Gold Leadership election a year and a half ago, where we put out the call for national leadership because we knew we were trying to build a nation within a nation. And we knew we could not do that without black leadership. So we put out the call, black people answered that call. And as a result, we had an election where now we have 19 departments in the Black Gold Nation movement. 20 departments. 18 are national here in the US and 2 are international. All of these people bring blueprints, proven blueprints and solutions to what we can do if we all did it together. If you know nothing about Brother Peter Brown, put his name in Facebook, do a search on him, and see what the brother is doing in Africa for our people. He has brought his solution to the Black Gold Nation movement. And he's only here because Sister Crystal Mendoza recommended him to the movement. He and I had an absolutely fantastic conversation. Of course, now he's a part of what we're trying to do. IT departments for major Fortune 500 companies. We have scientists as leadership in this organization. We have people who have been contracted with NASA to grow food in outer space in this organization. We have business owners who are known worldwide in their fields of business. We have people who are dedicated to making black people bigger, better, and stronger in every aspect of community life in this organization. And we're going to add Brother LeBron's blueprint to what we are already doing. And what he has done was already part of it. But we're going to take it a step further. And this is something that I've been talking about for the past 2 weeks. And it's interesting that this happened yesterday, which to me means that this is a divinely inspired, divinely led movement and organization. LeBron has stared down and won against a white institution. Remember Dr. Amos N. Wilson's quote. He says, to manipulate history is to manipulate consciousness. To manipulate consciousness is to manipulate possibilities. And to manipulate possibilities is to manipulate power. Brother LeBron has helped to usher in a new age of possibility by manipulating power to create possibility because he's changed his consciousness. The lesson is that if he can do it, we can all do it. What one man can do, another man can do. If I have lived in a community that was 100% owned and controlled by Black people, if my children were raised in an environment that was 100% owned and controlled by Black people, then why can't we have hundreds of those communities by which we can all live in peace, own and control our environment, own and control our institutions, and put our people in a position to win? If Brother Peter Brown, African name Patah, I've given him the last name of Imhotep, who was the first multi-genius, because I think this brother is also a multi-genius. If Brother Patah Imhotep can create a business model that's a win-win for people of color and a non-win for people who aren't melanated, and he has a proven solution, then why can't we also do what he's doing and duplicate the brother's success? If we have people in this movement that know how to create a closed loop agricultural ecosystem that we can own and control, and they are a part of this movement, then why can't we duplicate their efforts as they have brought those efforts, understanding, and that intellectual capital to the movement? And we can. The lesson with what Brother LeBron James has done is that when we are organized, when we know our value, when we know our power, then there is nothing that can stop us. All we have to do is decide not to be stopped. Remember the second quote from today. Brother H. Rap Brown, Jamil Abdullah Al-Amin, one of the founders of the Black Panther Party. He said everybody in the Black community must organize. And then we decide whether we will have alliance with other people or not, but not until we organize, but not until we are organized. Now, of course, it's never going to be everybody. It's never been everybody, but we don't want everybody and we don't need everybody. All we need is one strong Black person in the top 245 cities where our people live, and that will be enough for us to change the power dynamic on the ground. And we know because we have a plan to do so, and we're going to start doing that next year. Remember Brother H. Rap Brown's quote, we have to organize ourselves, and once we do that, then we have a conversation about alliances with other people, but not until we organize ourselves. Brother LeBron is organized. Brother LeBron's company is organized. Brother LeBron's strategies are organized with what he's able to do. That is how he's able to stop a white institution in America from changing the rules of the game. And he flipped it, and they changed the rule back to what it was. That is power. But we have to understand that if LeBron can do it, if I have lived in a 100% owned and controlled community, if Brother Patah Imhotep, Peter Brown, has a model for making Black people bigger, better, and stronger economically in Africa, if we have people who know how to grow food in outer space and that want to show us how to grow it here on Earth and control that environment, the examples are there. The blueprint has been given. It's simply a matter of, are we going to utilize the blueprint to move ourselves forward to make our people bigger, better, and stronger? We have to utilize the lesson and duplicate the effort so that we can add to the blueprint. Now, I've been talking for the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, about the Black Gold Nation Survival Summit. Because there are that brief snapshot that I read about what it means to be Black in America, we got to deal with that stuff. Everything that I read is true. You can research it on your own. I don't have to make up anything. The reality is bad enough. I don't have to add bad stuff on it to make it look bad. It's bad enough. We, Black people, we got to deal with that because nobody else is going to do so. The Survival Summit is about making our people aware of the details of those problems, but most importantly, providing solutions that we already have in this movement. We absolutely must educate our people to the fact that we're born into a war. We're 200 plus years behind on preparing for it. We have to educate our people to the fact and details of the war. And then we have to understand that we're surrounded on every front, so we have to push back if we're going to survive. The Survival Summit is about making our people aware of how our survival is in jeopardy, and then giving them the solution. Far too often, Black people talk about a problem, never give the people a solution. So you want to raise people's anxiety and blood pressure by talking about a problem and leave them hanging. We don't want to do that. Talking about it, we have a solution for it. If we're not talking, it probably doesn't matter, or we don't have a solution for it yet, and it's probably coming. But we got most of the bases covered. We've connected a lot of dots, and we have a lot of answers to push back against many of the threats that are destroying our people. We want to add to that Black Gold Nation Survival Summit by bringing more Black people on board to this movement. We, as a people, will never win if we don't have the support of our people. No movement moves without people, and this movement is no different. Where we do differ is that we have concrete, proven solutions to push back concrete, proven threats from Black people that have concrete, proven expertise in every area that's affecting our existence. So we are going to launch what I've been talking about for the past 2 weeks, a Black, not Black because everybody's Black, a barber and beauty shop alliance. The Black Gold Nation's barber better positioned to win. We have to connect with Black people in as many ways as possible so that we can win. There are 5,000 barbers in this country, 85,000. We want to align ourselves to churches that are institution work with. The only other institution, if you will, that rivals and even dwarfs the Black church are Black barbershops and Black beauty salons. I venture to say for every Black church, there's probably 2 to 3 barbershops and or beauty salons. So by creating an alliance with barbershops and beauty salons, we take that 85,000 Black church number and we double and triple it. And then we seek to have an event by which we can do a presentation in all of them at the same time nationwide. We take Brother Lebron's proven model and we add that to our proven models to create more proof of what we can do in this country moving forward. You've heard me talk about the movie Black Panther and the money we give to the Black church. The movie The Black Panther made over $1 billion in the first month. Conservative estimates are that Black people gave 75 or 80% of that $1 billion. We give, on average, conservatively speaking, to the Black church $250 million every week. Over $1 billion per month going to the Black church. If we're going to win in this country, if we're not to become a permanent underclass in this country, which damn near guarantees that our people will become a permanent underclass everywhere else, we have to connect with Black people who understand what's what. We have to connect with Black people who are looking for something, and we have to connect with our people so that we can teach them what needs to be taught so they understand that there is an answer, there is a solution, and it does not mean becoming second-class citizens to white people. The only way we're going to do that is to have the leader that understands. We have that. To have people on the ground that are ready to do. We have that. And to give them the answers that they need. We're about to do that. The Black Gold Nation's Barbershop and Beauty Salon Alliance is about us adding to the number of places we can do a presentation to Black people nationwide at the same time. So on, I think it's the last Monday in November. So on, I think it's, on November 25th, which is a Monday, we are going to host a live introductory presentation in barbershops and beauty salons nationwide, in the hopes that we can bring enough of them on board, and they will have 4, 5, 6 people watching at the same time. If there are 85,000 Black churches in America, and there are twice as many, if not 3 times as many Black barbershops and beauty salons, and we can get 2, 3, 4, 5 people per beauty salon, then we create for our opportunity to utilize as an opportunity to utilize the blueprint that I have coming out of the shrines of the Black Madonna. We give ourselves an opportunity to utilize the blueprint, the blueprint that Brother Patah Imhotep, Peter Brown, is utilizing. We give ourselves an opportunity to utilize the blueprint of Brother Robert Harding, who understands how to create a closed-loop agricultural ecosystem. Our issue is not intellectual capital. Our issue is not economic capital. Our issue is not physical capital. And of course, our issue is not spiritual capital. Our two main issues is that we're not connected and we're not organized. So every single thing we do has to be about connecting and organizing ourselves with Black people who are serious about creating a future for Black children. Because if we don't get serious about creating a future for Black children, guess what? Black children won't have a future. And that is no joke. White people, the white power establishment, white people that exist in that are running other nations outside of the U.S., same white person, different accent, they're not playing with people of color. We're trying to establish a 100-year plan to put ourselves in a position to win. You don't think they have a 100-year plan? Every group, except for Black people, has a 100-year plan. We need to have one that's not solely based on religion. Not because we are anti-religion, because we are not. But religion is a dividing mechanism for us because we're so confused about so many things. Someone has a particular religion, we immediately write them off. We don't do religion in this movement. We do spirituality, but not religion. If we're going to win, we have to come together as much as possible and build something for ourselves. But we can never do that if we can't reach and connect with our people. So if you want more information about the Black Gold Nation movement, please go to our main website, blackgoldnation.com. Click on About, read the mission. If the mission makes sense to you, go to our events website, Black-Gold-Wakanda Rising. If you have not seen our introductory presentation, click on presentations. Find the A Nation Within a Nation presentation. It's every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. It's free. Click on the RSVP for the next one. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you want more information about the Survival Summit, click on Survival Summit on the same events website, Black-Wakanda Rising. If you want to support us, click on the support on the events website, Black-Wakanda Rising. Scroll down to that subscribe button, click it. We'll only ask for $4 a month per supporting member, leadership, and our Black Gold Ambassador. If you want more information about the Barbershop and Beauty Salon Alliance, you're going to have to wait a day or two because I'm still building that part. But the idea of all of this is that we can make this happen. It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. We're not splitting atoms. We're talking about finding the right Black people to give the solutions that they already know works because they're already doing it. We're talking about putting our people in a position to be a part of a movement that's about building power. We're talking about utilizing examples that have already been given of successful Black people doing stuff, successful organizations doing stuff, and doing the same thing but not making mistakes that they have made because we studied their movements and their past and their history. There are only two things that can stop Black people in this country. A higher power, which is on our side anyway, and Black people. All we simply need to do is decide to be stopped. Once we decide not to be stopped, it's checkmate, game over. Because nothing can stop Black people who have decided to stop. We simply need to find the right people who are ready to make that decision so we can put them in a position via every single thing that we're doing and everything we bring to the table to not be stopped. The Black Gold Nation is now in 44 cities, 16 countries outside the U.S., of which 12 of them are in Africa. The others are in the UK, the Netherlands, Jamaica, the Bahamas, Belize. We're growing, but having Black Gold ambassadors in other countries, having leadership in other countries is not enough. We absolutely must have more Black people on board if this movement is going to continue to be successful and if we're going to be able to implement solutions that are going to put our people in a position to win. Our issue is not leadership. Our issue is not money. Our issue is not physicality, nor is it spirituality. Our issue is connectivity and organization. So we're looking for Black people who want to be connected, and we're looking for Black people who want to be organized. And if you are such a Black person, we need you to join us, because we're not going to win without you. We're going to keep moving without you because we have no choice. But our success becomes infinitely easier to reach if we have your involvement in this movement. And I venture to say, because I've done my research, I see no movement out there like this one that's trying to utilize everything that Black people have currently right now today. We're not waiting on anybody. We're not praying for something to happen without our active involvement. We have concrete solutions for concrete answers from Black people that are real. And we're simply saying that if we want to make this happen, we most certainly can. And once we decide to make it so, nothing can stop us except us. And I'm simply inviting everybody who wants to be a part to become a part so we can make this thing happen. So with that, thank you guys for being part of the live broadcast. I sincerely appreciate it. Please share this with 5, 15, 20 Black people. If you haven't already done so, I absolutely must increase our following and subscribership on YouTube so that I can expand our marketplace, our following via that platform. So if you haven't already liked us, followed us on YouTube, please do so. Search for Black Gold Nation or Black Gold Devalued, which is the book that came before the movement, so that you can be a part of our social media platform on YouTube. Thank you, Brother John, for being here. Thank you, Brother John Jason. Thank you as well. Sister Tammy, thank you. Sister Crystal, thank you. Brother Jeffrey, thank you. Sister Crystal, thank you for sharing and tagging a few people. I appreciate it. Brother Dale, Brother Larry, thank you. Brother DeWarn, thank you for being a part. Sayum, thank you for being here. Funi Karima, thank you. Brother Fred, I appreciate it. Sister Shakesha, thank you. Again, Sister Tammy, Sister Crystal, thank you for tagging other people to make this happen. Thank you for the applause and the acknowledgement. I appreciate it. Brother Obama, thank you. Sister Tammy, again, thank you for sharing. Sister Nanyamka, thank you for being here. Sister Cherie, thank you. Brother Vince. Brother Vince, your t-shirt is on the way. We finally got that straightened out, and you should have it. What is today? Today is Tuesday? Yeah, you should have it by this time next week, so it's on the way. Brother Benny from high school, we played football together. What's happening, Brother Benny? Sister Tawari helped raise my children. Thank you for being here. Most importantly, my daughter Sakina. And Brother Eric, brother, I'm trying to bring on board to help us do some research out of Prairie View, Texas, in and around the Dallas area. In Dallas, in and around Prairie View. I think that's where he is. So thank you guys for being a part. Again, go to the main website if you want more information, blackgoldnation.com. If you want to be a part of our events, we have a lot of things happening. We're about to start establishing businesses in Africa and in the Netherlands via our relationships that we have and via our new leadership who's over that area. We're about to start doing a lot of things in this country and outside this country, and we want and need you to be a part of it. So if you want to be a part of a movement that's realistically focused on changing the power dynamic on the ground for our people nationwide and worldwide, we are here. The doors are open. You simply need to walk in and become a part of this thing. So thank you very much. God bless you. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm at 44 minutes. Funi Cream is going to kill me. I apologize. Pray for me. He's not done with me yet. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.